The audacity of this kid, Dylan Brooks, who can't back up any of his words, to do that kind of a number on a truly all-time great player and the greatest scorer in the history of this game, to be that utterly, dismissively disrespectful, just utter, cold-hearted, remorseless disrespect. I seethe over this to the point that I want LeBron to destroy this man because it's so out of bounds.
This idiot said, I don't know what Draymond does out there. In the way that I have contributed to 4 championships, they tend to like you. So, next time you speak up on me, you should do some fact checking. Next time you speak up on me, you should do some soul searching. Next time you speak up on me, I hope you're in a better situation than you in now.
Payton blocks the shot by Dillion Brooks and sends it into the stands.
AD now has 20 blocks in the series.
10 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of assists. Hit those 2 early ones. I'm expecting he'll be on.
Another guy who's clout chasing, a guy who a few years ago actually had a lot of potential in this league to be something really good. He had a lot of possibility, and that guy goes by the name of Dylan Brooks. I mean, we've all seen him in the media. He's obviously using his image of toughness and cockiness from last season into now to have this image about himself that is probably lacking, obviously, because, well, his skill set doesn't even back it up on the court. And now, not even just that, going to the levels of what he did, because he's gone into it with several other players, including Draymond Green. He had that flagrant foul as well on Gary Payton last season alone. On top of that, he's had many occurrences with many players throughout this NBA season. Many technical fouls this year. I believe it was over $250,000 in fines. He punched a cameraman. Dylan Brooks has really just, quite frankly, made a name for himself. And then he goes up against the biggest, baddest of them all in LeBron James. And well, now Dylan Brooks is down so bad that he may have to go overseas and play for the Shanghai Sharks. It's like, I mean, look, he may still be end up signing with an NBA team. I've heard there's been interest from other teams, but we all know that the Grizzlies have plans to not bring Dylan Brooks back, and that is for really valid reasons. I mean, I feel like Dylan Brooks, getting him off this team is definitely going to help this team even better when it comes to their maturity. I think this whole team in general, because they lack a quality leadership from actual experienced veterans. Yes, they have Steven Adams, and he's been far in his NBA career. He's had a pretty successful career. He's a great veteran, but they need more. They need somebody who they can really, really, truly respect and see as that leader, that, that alpha male or whatever you want to call it, the guy who they really see and go to for guidance, because these guys, this whole Grizzlies team in general, I mean, let's not forget Ja Morant, his issues this season as well. On top of that, this team lacks true leadership. And we've seen that happen throughout this NBA season. Despite that, they're still a very young, talented NBA team, and they have a great organization in general. And this Grizzlies team, they definitely need better shooting as well, because they relied heavily on Luke Kennard for that this year. They need better spacing. And, well, if we saw Dylan Brooks play this year especially, he just really hasn't provided that from them. He's shot really efficient from 3 this season and from the field in general. His play has just decreased for the Grizzlies, and they can definitely replace him with somebody I wouldn't say way better, but somebody who may be a better in right ways for this Grizzlies team. Obviously this year the Grizzlies, they weren't fully healthy either. Let's not forget that Ja Morant had injuries. They didn't have Steven Adams. They didn't have some of their other key piece players on this team that made them successful throughout this run that they've had. We know their main core players is Desmond Bane, Ja Morant, and the reigning defensive player of the year in Jaren Jackson Jr. And if he can stay healthy on especially, this team is a force to be reckoned with. And I believe that without Dylan Brooks, it's definitely just going to make things better. He has brought in a lot of outside noise to this organization that they really don't need. I mean, come on, man. You're literally going up against LeBron James, and not only that, but as we all know, so many people have already said this, but I'm just going to rephrase that same saying. You only respect somebody who drops 40 on you, but you have your career high is only 37 points, man. Come on. What are you saying, sir? Like, the stature, the level that what LeBron James is comparison to you, like, you are literally using LeBron for your own advantage when you really look at it, the bigger picture perspective. And really, just looking at all of this in general, man, it all really simply goes back to a lack of leadership and guidance for this Memphis Grizzlies team. You think this is bad? Dillon Brooks, really, in reality, too, you know, it is not really right the way the organization is handling it, because it seems like they're putting everything on Brooks because, well, yeah, and eliminating him is going to solve that problem. But at the same time, it's not really going to solve all the other issues they already have. I mean, we all know Ja Morant and his whole situation, and technically Ja Morant is the guy. He is the Memphis Grizzlies. This is his franchise. This is his team. And obviously I've watched videos and people saying that he talks even more than anybody else, really, in all honesty. And, you know, your attitude, leadership reflects the attitude of all the other guys, especially on the team. And Ja Morant being that guy, being the face of the franchise, we all know, you know, he's held himself accountable for the things that he's done already and what he has to change moving forward. And obviously, seeing what especially happened in this first round series against the Lakers and getting blown out, especially in Game 6 by 40 points, they're all in definitely for a rude awakening. I mean, you know it's bad if Skip Bayless, for all people, is trying to defend LeBron James on top of that. It's crazy, you know, and this man has made an entire career. He's been famous off of all of his heated takes on LeBron, and yet he's backing up LeBron in this scenario, which is a shocker. Moving forward now, really, as I said before, the Grizzlies, there's definitely many other options out there for them. If they, you know, of course, if they are deciding to moving on from Dillon Brooks, you know, that's not going to solve all their problems. He's not the main problem on this team, as we all know. It's many other issues for this Grizzlies team, and we will see how that gets answered in this offseason. But this Grizzlies team overall, you know, they're in a stage now where they have the core pieces of this team, and it's about building around them so they can win an NBA championship. They have done a great job over these last few years in drafting great players, acquiring the right talent around these guys to really compete for the NBA championship. It's really, like I said earlier, just a matter of these guys staying healthy. You know, if they stayed healthy, there's no doubt this series would have gone probably 7 games, even despite everything that has already happened. To really close things off for this video, here's a really great lesson for everybody, just in life in general. Don't really let your ego get in the way, because you create this false illusion of who you are in your mind, and you basically think you're better than what you actually are in reality. Now, this is definitely what happened to Dillon Brooks in this scenario, and he got the price paid for it. Basically karma came his direction. And what Draymond Green especially said about how this Grizzlies team isn't ready to win an NBA championship and making a deep run, I mean, it all just adds on to what has happened already now for them. He's done now with LeBron James. You know, LeBron is a solidified, bona fide Hall of Famer. Arguably now already, many see him as the greatest basketball player to ever play this game. Hey, it's your opinion. It may not be. Hey, whatever. But he's seen as probably one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And to have that stature and somebody who has no level being up there try to talk down on you and say this and that, you just make yourself look like a fool. And that's exactly what he did. So take this lesson to heart. Don't let your ego, don't let your pride, don't let this false illusion of who you think you are just dictate your life. And that's basically the life of Dillon Brooks now. So hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos each and every single week. Have a great day. Peace.